fine. So is this expression is correct? You may say that yes, this is expression is correct, but there is a problem, right? See, for example, if I say a equals to 2 and b equals to 3, then if I replace these values, say this is 2 plus 3 multiplied by 2. So how we are going to evaluate? We are going to evaluate this into this particular way. Okay, so which means mathematically means as per the precedence of the operators, this should go first and this should go later. Okay, so it means this should go, this is 3 to 6 plus 2, this is going to be 8. Now another could be like, see, if I don't know about operators and you have given this sum to a class or grade 2 students, so grade 2 student will find out c equals to a plus b as, or that grade 2 student can do it in this particular way. So 2 plus 3 multiplied by 2, so 2 plus 3 is 5 multiplied by 2 is say this, so 10. So you have got one more answer. One is 8, one is 10. So this answer is correct as far as precedence of operators are concerned. This is concerned, but okay, whether they are syntactically wrong or syntactically correct, syntax is correct. Identifier, operator, identifier, operator, identifier. Okay, so syntactically it is correct. Syntactically this is correct, but semantically it is wrong, right? Where we say that the meaning of this expression should be one, but here there are two results. So two expressions are being generated here. Two meanings are being generated here. Meaning this means one meaning giving you 8, second meaning giving you 10. So this is going to be a difficult job. So this is called as semantic analysis. And just to resolve this issue, we need to go with semantic analysis. Right, and in syntax analysis already we define a precedence. Precedence means the preference of execution of the operators. So star has first preference, then plus has second preference, and so many so forth. So this is you need to understand. So program recognition part, 3 phases: lexical analysis, syntax analysis, and semantic analysis. Now let us come back to this particular point. Like if you have any issues on this so far, you can ask me so that I can answer your questions. Still we have 8 minutes left. I want that we should spend this particular 8 minutes on question answer session. Yeah, if you have any doubt, please let me understand this. So have you got the clear idea, clear concept about how we are going to work as far as this program recognition phase is considered? Okay, good. Okay. So yes. Now yes. So what is important? Important is this, that we must have to understand first 3 pages. Okay, so let's look at this now. Let's look at this. So I hope this is clear to you all. So the role is of symbol table and this. Okay, now here interesting thing is error handler. Now error handler means, like here you can, in case of error handler, you can take the situation where the expression is C equals to A plus question mark, means identifier is missing. So what is going to generate it? Error is being generated. So means what? The error handler routine is connected with every stage of translation. So we say that this is a translation phase. So in every stage of translation, this is going to be done. So the analysis part, intermediate code generation part, synthesis part, for all parts, this is being done. Error handling is being done. So the purpose of error handler is this only. Okay, so in the next subsequent lecture, I'm going to tell you about intermediate code generation and the synthesis part, the code generation, that is code optimization and code generation, and how the target code is generated. So this we are going to see into the subsequent lecture. That is the next lecture, tomorrow's lecture at 11:15 to 12:15. Okay, so till then, if you have any questions which is not clear to you, you can discuss with me. Okay, so right now, I hope there are no questions now. If still you wanted to ask any question, you can ask me the question. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to provide you the 3 videos of this particular session onto your classroom, right? If you want more explanation onto this particular segment, so you can get those explanations by referring to the yeah. So Deepak Ugle says, what is the okay, Deepak Ugle says that what is the relation to interpreter and compiler? So you mean to say in the context of Java or in the context of a general course? No, C don't have interpreter here. C particularly used compiler. So for C there is no interpreter. For C there is a compiler, and which compiles the whole C program into, or which translate whole C program into the executable part. And as I said that it has to go on to 2 pass structure, pass 1 structure and pass 2 structure. In pass 1 structure, it converts .c into .obj, that is object code, and which object code is further optimized into pass 2 and links with the dependencies, and it will give an executable. Once it is executable file, it is ready to go. You straight away execute that particular file altogether. So there is no relation of interpreter and compiler with respect to C program. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. Any question else? No questions? Okay. So good. So I hope that in your classroom itself, you have received my presentation, today's presentation. So you can refer back to the presentation, to the points that we have discussed, to the points we have covered. So I am going to upload this particular videos for you for your better reference for next. If you wanted to refer back, then that can be done. Okay, so let's see you tomorrow. If you have questions, please let me know. If you don't have a question, still you start working on it. So we'll stop this lecture now. Have a good time. Thank you.